Welcome to a good enough summary of Clear Obscure Act 2. Act 1 was amazing, and now we are going straight into Act 2, and I don't even know what to expect anymore. This game is just off the rails, right? So, let's pick up where we left off. Verso is now in the party, and the expeditioners need to continue their journey to defeat the Paintress, and definitely end the Gommage once and for all. They arrived at a place called the Forgotten Battlefield. Here you can see a great number of expeditioners who died at the hands of a mysterious and very dangerous Nevron. Mael wants to bury Gustav's hand somewhere nice, and Verso decides to take her to some place that he knows. So along the way, Verso teaches us how to perform the gradient counter. This is an ultimate counter that can only be used to block certain attacks. So each party member have their own version of this gradient counter. So you can test out each one to see what they do. We then come across a bridge where we got ambushed by the Nevron we were talking about earlier. His name is the Duelist. This guy is easily one of the toughest Nevrons I've faced so far in the game. He is just menacing as hell. A new status effect was also introduced here as well. It's called Inverted. It makes you take damage when you try to heal, and the Duelist wastes no time in using it to ensure that we die. The Duelist also has two forms, and in his second form, he takes out his second sword, and the number of attacks he has increases as well, which throws everything off. The first phase, all the planning you did, all the memorizing is now out the door. I finally beat the Duelist though, and I was treated to a very beautiful cinematic of the entire expedition taking turns to finish him off. Now that the Nevron is dead, Mael can lay Gustav to rest in peace at a very beautiful place. Back at camp, Verso advises the rest of the expedition that their next destination should be Monaco Station. Here, he will meet one of his oldest friends, Monaco. We also find out that the goal is to destroy the Paintress's heart in order to get to her. In addition to this, we also find out that Lumiere used to be one large city that got split into two by the fracture. Also, I discovered that talking to the other expeditioners will increase their relationship level with you. Later on in the act, this will also unlock additional attacks that each of them can use. We get to Monaco Station where we must fight Monaco himself. Well, because he's a crazy gestural that loves fighting more than anything else. Monaco can also transform himself into Nevron somehow, which makes him tricky to fight since each transformation has its own set of attacks. After defeating Monaco, we then end up having to fight a new Nevron, and it is here that Monaco teaches us how to perform gradient attacks. We also find out how he is able to transform into Nevrons. He apparently collects their foot, and he must be in the party when a Nevron is defeated in order to be able to transform into that Nevron. With another new member added to the expedition, it's time for us to head into Old Lumiere. The city has been totally destroyed, and there are just Nevrons hanging around, along with some mysterious swords of light. I fought my way through the Nevrons until we got separated. Then the secrets started to come out. We find out that Verso is actually Renor's son, and the girl is his sister. This makes the team not trust Verso at all, and a big fight against Renor breaks out, and he's just ready to go. His attacks are very fast, very hard to predict, and they are very beautiful to look at, but also deadly. Before we could beat Renoir, he does one final attack that ended up killing Noko. We also get interrupted by Renoir's daughter, who is still obsessed with Mael for some reason. We headed back to camp after fighting Renoir, where Lune asked the curator to make a weapon that can break through the barrier. The curator told her that he needs the heart of Axons in order to make the weapons. The Axons are enormous and dangerous, and it will take a lot of skill and effort to defeat them. So we set off to the nearest one, which is the Visages. And to fight this Axon, we first have to destroy 3 masks: joy, sadness, and anger. Once we do that, we're able to fight the Axon, or at least what we thought was the Axon. He used a number of masks, each with a different ability to attack, and it took some getting used to, but not long after he was defeated. The true Axon is actually the Mask Keeper, who revealed himself once we defeated the Visages. He was quite the challenge, pulling out some crazy attacks that are way too hard to parry. He eventually goes down though, and with that, the first Axon has been defeated. The next Axon was very interesting. The name of this Axon is Seren. She loves to dance and sing, and she's also very big. Her singing hypnotizes the expedition and allows them to see things. Throughout Seren's domain, there are various dancing Neverons that are annoying to fight, since some of them are just totally flying. So the main way to attack them is by shooting and countering their attacks. When we finally make it to Seren herself, a big battle begins. She is towering over us with some smooth dance moves as she weaves her attacks in an attempt to destroy us. You have to be really on point here. Missing just a few attacks can wipe out your entire party, so paying attention is key to making it out alive. Lune ends up dealing the final blow to Seren, and with that, we have defeated the second Axon. Now it's time to go back to the curator and have him make us something that can pierce the barrier to the monolith. And this is a sword for Mael, which is called the Barrier Breaker. With the Barrier Breaker in hand, it's time to go back to the monolith, and guess who is there waiting for us? Renoir himself, and he's not playing around this time. This fight took a great deal of effort. I died so many times. He has way too many attacks and feints, and they are all placed strategically all over the place to throw you off. He really lives up to the tension that he has been building up since Act 1, so to now be facing him in all his glory is amazing. Then finally we face down the paintress herself. Thankfully, not the gigantic one that paints on the monolith, but her smaller version, and for me, the most difficult part of this fight is her very first attack. Those void meteors drove me crazy trying to parry them all and make it through this fight alive. In her second phase though, she did summon her giant version, and the fight just got even more difficult. Trying to parry larger than life attacks are just crazy, and it's hard to tell where they are coming from sometimes. I could not even stop to admire the beauty of the artwork. I was just too focused on the battle. After all the struggles and the crashing outs that I did, we finally take her down, and Expedition 33 has done it. We have saved our people from the Gamage, and tomorrow will come. Or so we thought. Verso received a letter from Alicia that is meant for Mael, and in that letter, Alicia revealed that she is the painted version of Mael, and that the world that they are living in is not real. It was all a painting that was painted by her mother, dun, 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 the paintress. Wow. Also, if they succeeded in their expedition, it would mean the end of the world, and Alicia and her family as well. The gommage is actually being caused by Mahel's father, which is Renoir. Not the Renoir we defeated, but the real Renoir. And he's trying to destroy the painted world in order to save his wife, the paintress. We also finally find out the secret behind the number painted on the monolith. It represents the few people the paintress can actually save from the gommage each year as she grows weaker in order to warn the people of Lumiere. So basically, this is how it goes. There are two versions of this family, the one in the real world and the one in the painting. The real Renoir wants to destroy the painting and everything in it, while the paintress wants to preserve the world for some reason and live in it with the painted family. To Alicia, Maya's mother, the paintress, paints life, and her father, Renoir, paints death. Upon completing the letter, we see that the gommage is taking everyone, and since the paintress is no longer able to hold back Renoir, he is now powerful enough to not only gommage the oldest, but everyone living in Lumiere. Act 2 ends with Maëlle waking up in the real world as Alicia, and she joins her sister downstairs in the mansion. I didn't think Act 2 could top Act 1, to be honest, but I stand corrected. This game just keeps getting better and better, and it's not just the gameplay. The story is so refreshing and full of twists. I am looking forward to Act 3, or the epilogue as it's called, to see exactly how they wrap this up. This is just amazing, really amazing. So stay tuned with me as we continue to play through Expedition 33. You can subscribe to my channel, leave a comment down below, and let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next one.